Hey, Sid!
Get out of my room! I'm playing Minecraft!
Okay, sorry.
Alright, I've got this.
Hey, Sid!
What do you want? I'm reading.
I have something to show you. It's really cool.
I don't care.
You should care! Come with me right now!
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Great.
It's down here.
Okay. What the hell is this?
It's a time machine.
That's a toilet.
It's a time machine. Just sit down.
Fine. Where are we?
Don't you mean? When are we?
Excuse me, sir?
Greetings, fellow travelers. My name is Baljeet.
Oh, what's up, bro? Pound it.
Namaste.
Alright then. Liam, do you know this guy?
Yeah, he's your ancestor from Delhi. That's why I brought you here.
I don't care about this guy. Take me back.
Alright, but we're gonna have to find a toilet to
This
time
whole
travel us back.
country is a. Liam's gonna go look for some toilets. What year is it?
Just turned 1325.
What are you, a boomer?
I don't know what that is.
Whatever. This looks pretty scenic. Can you tell me something about it?
Allow me to explain the geography of India. Some notes here. Delhi is situated in North India, just to the west of the Yamuna River, south of the Himalayan mountain range. The eastern and northern edges of the city are surrounded by the rocky hills of the Aravalli mountain range, while the eastern side is next to the Yamuna River. Because of this more mountainous geography, Delhi has an elevation range of 700 to 1,000 feet.
What about the trees with the flowers?
The ridges and hillsides of Delhi are home to a variety of beautiful trees, such as the thorny acacia trees and the seasonal herb trees. The parts of the city close to the bank of the Yamuna River are covered in river vegetation, such as weeds and grass. The southern parts of Delhi have more flowering shade trees. Examples are the mango and the maple trees. There are also a variety of colorful wildflowers that grow in southern Delhi.
Well, what about the weather?
For Delhi's climate, it is extremely dry in the winter months with intensely hot summers. But during the monsoon season that begins in July and ends in September, eastern and southern winds cause heavy rainfall and increased humidity. It is during this time that Delhi receives the bulk of its rainfall, roughly 23 inches. The city layout of Delhi during this time reflects the necessity for walls and defense. Many of the streets in Delhi are winding and irregular, with only a few leading to the main gates or entry points. Allow me to lead you to my palace. There is a toilet inside.
Liam, come over here. There's toilets. Come on. Beautiful. What's your
Thank
job?
you. I am a traveling merchant.
What do you export?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Some of my most popular exports are spices like pepper. I also sell gems, pearls, and cotton. Indian artisans are also well known for our production of high carbon steel knives and swords.
Wow.
I trade at ports of the Indian Ocean because these items are vital at the Indian Ocean trade. Hindus make up the majority of the merchants, but recently foreign Muslim merchants are also making up a large portion. And trade has been booming since the Turks have introduced us to the other port cities.
So, what do you get imported from these cities?
Well, from China we get things like silk and porcelain plates. We also get things like spices from Southeast Asia, incense and horses from Arabia, and Southwest Asia has stuff like gold and ivory.
That's a whole elephant head, bro.
The architecture is beautiful in here, but I thought there would be more Hindu icons.
Well, the early rulers of the Delhi Sultanate were Muslim iconoclastic pillagers. They're known for their destruction of Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain temples. The fusion of native Indian and Muslim customs and styles under the Delhi Sultanate has given rise to the beginnings of Indo-Islamic art and architecture. One of the most famous buildings in Delhi is the Qutub Minar, which is a minaret that combines Hindu architecture with Islamic geometric patterns. I would like to show you something. Come with me to
Let's
the room
go.
of my esteemed guests. I would like to teach you about the history of India.
So what's the scoop?
Well, we are currently being ruled by the Delhi Sultanate. The Delhi Sultanate began when Muslim Turks began to invade India, destroying many of our cities. However, they're honestly doing a pretty bad job at ruling. They are not very liked by Hindus like me. as we have to pay an exorbitantly high amount of tax for not being Muslim. During the rule of the current Sultan, India began using a standardized system of silver and copper currency and a standard weight. He also introduced the Ikidari system, a division of empires into iktas, or small provinces which are assigned to be governed by nobles and officers. I have to leave for a bit for trade matters, but I'm sure my servant here can help you understand more about Delhi.
And I'm going to teach you about some government structure. The political structure is very fragmented. Nomadic groups are spread into northern plains, and the Turks founded the Delhi Sultanate in 1206. Head of government is Delhi Sultan. He has political and military authority and is both chief of military and head of administration. There are also government positions forming complex government hierarchy, bureaucracy. Wazir, Prime Minister, Aris-e-Malik helps to command the army. Diwan-e-Risalat, he deals with the religious stuff. And Dabir-e-Mamlik, he focuses on state correspondence.
Are we done yet?
No, there is still culture. Very important. Before the rule of Delhi Sultanate, Indian culture was a mix of Vedic, Hindu, and Buddhist influences. Religion was extensive, and both Buddhism and Hinduism reigned as the primary religions of the people of Delhi. People spoke Sanskrit and Hindu, and Buddhist festivals were celebrated. Okay, and now I'm going to teach
I'm sick of you talking. I'm done. My mom actually taught me something about culture because I'm Indian. Culture in Delhi is more of a mix of Muslim and Hindu influences. This is because of the Indo-Muslim fusion of cultures that resulted because of the Delhi Sultanate. Although Muslims and Hindus were still at odds with each other, their cultures still mix and exchange qualities. For example, many Indians converted to Islam because of the tax the Delhi Sultanate placed on them for not practicing Islam. Although Buddhism and Hinduism was still practiced in Delhi, the majority of people now practice Islam because they want to avoid the tax or were Muslim to begin with. Language was also changed due to the Sultanate. The Sultanate rule caused the rise of the Urdu language. Urdu was a combination of the Sanskrit language used by the native Indians and the Persian, Arabic, and Turkish language elements favored by the Delhi Sultanate. Urdu spread quickly throughout northern India because it allowed native Indians to communicate easily with their Muslim citizens. Indo-Muslim combination of cultures could also be seen in the art of Delhi. The geometric shapes of the Muslims and icons of the gods and symbols of the Indians blended together to create new Indo-Muslim art. As for festival and celebrations, both Hindu and Islamic celebrations were celebrated separately. Diwali, Holi, and the birthdays of Hindu gods were celebrated separately from Islamic holidays. The Muslim people celebrated Ramadan, Islamic New Year, and went on Hajj. And actually, most of India was Hindu and
No, that was very incorrect. Incorrect! The demography of India at the time. They were Hindus, but then the Muslims came to power to merge with Hindus, and they became the majority in the Delhi Sultanate. Sit down. I will now educate you, Pagal Larka, about gender. So before the Delhi Sultanate, Hindu women were treated poorly. But during the Sultanate, if these women converted to Islam, they were given more freedom. The Delhi Sultanate possessed one of the only female rulers, Razi Sultan, daughter of Iltutmish. Although she had multiple brothers, she was the smartest of the family and possessed the roles of previous male rulers. Women were typically educated and were well respected in family. Multiple women were part of court politics as part of royal harem. Women were also portrayed elegantly in art and played important roles in entertainment as singer and dancer. Women could not marry multiple times, but rich men were able to have multiple wives. Hey, this is Ibn Battuta!
I am Ibn Battuta and I went to Delhi to seek official employment from Morocco. I met the current Sultan, Mohammed Tughlaq, and signed a contract agreeing to stay in India. I assembled many gifts for the Sultan, such as arrows, several camels, 30 horses, several slaves, and other goods. The king was extremely welcoming and appointed me to be an imperial judge of Delhi with a salary of 12,000 dinars a year. I stayed in the city for about 8 years. I was especially impressed by the food of India, such as samosas, black-eyed peas, and mango pickles. I am impressed by the postal courier system of Delhi, especially by how horses and human couriers are stationed every couple of miles to pick up packages. I am also intrigued by the trees and fruits of India, such as the jackfruit tree and mango tree. Very yummy.
Thank you so much for listening. Now please get out of my house.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Oh look, dude, a toilet.
Perfect, you can leave now.
Let's go. Whoa!